Hello everyone, welcome to Arka Science, and today in this video I will be discussing about the monthly horoscope for the month of June 2022. This month has got some important planetary energy shifts. Now be it the direct motion of Mercury, which is going to take place on 3rd of June 2022 in the sign of Taurus. At present Mercury is in conjunction with Sun. Now talking about Sun, on 15th of June Sun will change the sign, it will enter the sign of Gemini. On 18th of June Venus will leave the sign of Aries and it will enter the sign of Taurus. At present Venus is in conjunction with Rahu in the sign of Aries. If we talk about Mars, then Mars is in conjunction with Jupiter in the sign of Pisces as of now, but on 27th of June 2022 Mars will leave Pisces and it will enter its own Mula Trikona sign Aries, and it will be in conjunction with Rahu and Mars. So then it will be a very important transit, because Mars will be under the influence of Rahu Ketu axis, that also in its own Mula Trikona sign Aries. If we talk about Jupiter, then Jupiter will continue to transit in its own sign Pisces. And if we talk about Saturn, then on 4th of June 2022 Saturn will start retrograding in its Mula Trikona sign Aquarius, and it will slowly and gradually it will go towards the sign of Capricorn, and in the month of July it will actually enter the sign of Capricorn. Rahu and Ketu will as usual keep on transiting in the sign of Aries and Libra respectively. So that's it for all the planetary transits and the shift of energy which are going to take place in the month of June 2022. But how these energies are going to impact us for our individual horoscopes, that will be completely different. So for that, if you want a consultation from me, one-to-one personalized consultation, check the links in the description section. You can mail me directly to my email ID, or you can join me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. You will find the links in the description section. Now this transits or this particular month or the planetary energies which I am talking about, I will be discussing about all the 12 ascendant signs. It is my request, please check the results with respect to your ascendant sign and your moon sign, because from the ascendant sign you will actually understand that what is physically happening in front of you. Now what is the magnitude of that happenings, that will depend upon the dasa which you are running through. Like suppose if I am talking about the transit of Mars which is going to take place on 27th on June, and suppose if you are running through the dasa of Mars, or suppose your Mars is placed in the sign of Aries, or any planet is placed in the sign of Aries and over which Mars is going to transit, you will definitely feel the impact. Okay, so depending upon the planetary positions in your horoscope or the dasa which you are running through, the magnitude of the impact of these planetary energies will vary from person to person. So for that you need to check your ascendant sign reading and how that impact is coming in front of you mentally, or how it is impacting you emotionally. For that, check the reading from your moon sign. For example, suppose your ascendant is Aries, then check the reading from your Aries part, and suppose if your moon sign is Gemini, then check the Gemini part, because that will give you the idea that how it is going to impact you emotionally. So now I will start the video for all the 12 ascendant signs, and anytime if you are new to this channel, then tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new video you get notified instantly. So come, let us start. For the Aries ascendant people, the 2nd and 7th Lord Venus will be in conjunction with Rahu in the first house itself. So this will indicate that any matter related to your values, your wealth and financial management, your family, anything related to marriage, relationship, health of the spouse, or even partnership, these all matters may be more important, and all of a sudden may come in front of you where it will require more of your attention in this whole month of June, and you need to focus on these matters in some innovative way, specifically when Venus is your 2nd lord. So anything which you value the most, all of a sudden those things may come in front of you, and you need to confront it in some different manner, because Venus will be in conjunction with Rahu. And Since Venus will be in the Rahu Ketu axis, so it will be the most important matter that you need to also take care regarding your relationships, your health of the spouse. Now, since this conjunction is happening in the first house itself, and Mars is 12th house away from the first house in the sign of Pisces, so it will be also more important during this particular month that you need to also be very careful regarding your own health also. Now, although Mars will be in conjunction with Jupiter, so that will be good for your learning. Means it can be like obtaining prosperity at some faraway lands. There is a chance of long distance travels also. And suppose if you are thinking to pursue some higher education, then this is also a good time to go to some faraway place and attend the higher education. So this will be a good time for learning. And suppose if you are also thinking to go towards spiritual way of life, then this transit of Mars along with Jupiter in the 12th house will also be good for your spiritual growth and spiritual life and any activity related to spirituality. But since it is in the 12th house and Venus and Rahu will be conjuncting the first house, so it is advisable that you should also be very careful regarding your health, because don't forget that both Mars and Jupiter will be in the Pap Kartari Yoga, which is caused by Rahu and Saturn. You need to be also be very careful regarding your speech and communication during this particular time. Stay away from any kind of unnecessary arguments or disputes, because Mars will be directly looking into your sixth house and third house. So in that matter you need to be very careful. And Mars by its eighth aspect will also look into the house of partnership and marriage, that is the seventh house. So when you are dealing with your partners or even your spouse, be very careful that you don't enter into any kind of unnecessary arguments or dispute. Yes, there can be some kind of difference of opinions, but you need to be calm and composed and come down to the solution rather than going into any kind of arguments. Mercury will be direct very soon on 3rd of June, and that will be good transit, I will say, along with Sun in the second house. Yes, some expenditures are seen, but you can control that expenditure by proper financial management and proper budget making. You need to be much more focused towards your values and tradition during this particular time, because although Venus will be in conjunction with Rahu, but one good thing is that Sun will be transiting through your second house, so that will be good for your values, culture and your tradition, and that will also be good for your family values also. Now on 15th of June, Sun will change the sign and Sun will come to your third house in the sign of Gemini. And I will say that that will be a very good transit, because it will give you some extra energy to prove through your efforts, through your creativity, and start new works, new projects, and that will give you overall success, because it will be like a new energy giving transit for you. Means whatever work you do, you will feel very energetic, and it will be like you'll start to complete the work. So that will be a good transit overall. Now, when we talk about the conjunction of Mars and Jupiter, so since Jupiter will be in the 12th house, so it will be like a spiritual transit, and it will be also be good for higher learnings also, as I said earlier. Saturn will be retrograding on 4th of June in your 11th house, so that means it simply indicates that you need to focus on the stuffs which require more hard work, so as to get a lot and more of gains in the future days to come. Because here Saturn is saying that certain things will be coming in front of you where you need to focus more, you need to learn new things, and then that will give you gains and incoming of wealth in the future months and days to come. So that's it for the Aries ascendant people. For the Taurus ascendant people, as of now, Sun and Mercury will be transiting in the first house, and I will say it is a very good transit, because Mercury will be direct on 3rd of June and Sun is the fourth lord. So fourth and fifth lord getting conjunct in the first house, it is first of all creating a very good Raj Yoga. So by the virtue of this transit, you will be feeling that yes, you can learn new things. It will be good for your wisdom, your intelligence, for new sense of creativity and hard work. This will give you a very good confidence in your life, in your day-to-day life. Means the moment you wake up in the morning, you will feel that yes, I am getting that energy to do anything which I want to accomplish in my life. So it will be a very good transit in this sense, because Mercury will be direct, and it will also be good for your anything which you want to learn. So if you want to prove your creativity in front of the world, that is a very good time, because this Sun and Mercury will be good for your self development also. On 15th of June, when Sun changes the sign, so that time it will be in your second house, and I will say that that is the time where you will be able to improve more on your values, your morals, your culture and tradition. That will be a good time for that, and it will be also a good time to solve any matter related to your family, and that will be also give you a good position among your family members. But Sun is a very hot and bright planet, so you also need to be very careful regarding what you say, because second house is the house of speech. So out of your ego, suppose if you say something, so later on you may feel that you should have checked what you wanted to say and what you not wanted to say. Okay, so be very careful regarding what you said during the transit of Sun in your second house. And out of your that ego, and because of this transit of Sun, don't make any kind of impulsive or unnecessary expenditures when Sun will be transiting through your second house, that is after 15th of June. So these are the things which has to be checked by this transit of Sun. The Lagna Lord Venus will be conjunct with Rahu in the 12th house. So the first thing which here has to be understood is that you need to be very careful regarding your health. Yes, it will be a very good transit with respect to spirituality, because some innovative way of learning spiritual techniques or spiritual growth can be understood by this transit of Venus and Rahu in the 12th house. It can also make you feel like that you may feel more better in isolation or at some far away places. So this can also link to the fact that you may get prosperity at some far away lands, or when you are learning the foreign culture or about the foreign communities, that will be giving you much more satisfaction. So you will be feeling good when you try to know the foreign places. So it can also link to the fact that you will apply your creativity in some innovative way in some far away place. It is just like that. So in that way it is good, but in the other way, since Venus is the Lagna Lord, and after 15th, when Sun will be transiting in your second house, in the house of finance, so these are the two things which you need to be very careful, that take care of your health and don't make any kind of unnecessary expenditures. Okay, these are the two things has to be taken care of. On the other hand, Mars and Jupiter will be transiting through the 11th house. I will say it is a very good transit of Jupiter and Mars in the 11th house of gains, because they will actually help you to provide you the necessary wisdom and energy to do the hard work and have the gains in your way. Means whatever work you do, because don't forget Saturn will be transiting in your 10th house. So Saturn will allow you to learn new things and innovatively and work harder in your workplace. And ultimately this Jupiter and Mars transiting through the 11th house will let you get the goals which you actually aspired of, which you think of. And since Saturn will be transiting in the sign of Aquarius, so it means that new types of job responsibilities may come in front of you, which needs to be learned, which needs to be understood in some smarter way, and that will give you much more better results. Because don't forget that Mars and Jupiter both will be looking towards your 5th house of creativity. So yes, you can work through your creativity, and ultimately that will give you and lots of gains in your life. So that will be good for the Taurus ascendant people. On 4th of June, when Saturn retrogrades in the 10th house, so it means that you need to learn something new, or you need to be much more focused towards your higher knowledge or higher spiritual knowledge regarding whatever work you do at your work environment. So certain things will come in front of you where you may feel that yes, I need to work upon this thing and I have to learn about this thing, or I need to find a proper mentor who can be more philosophical and can give me much more better results in the coming days to come. Okay, so that will give you much more better results for the Taurus ascendant people. For the Gemini ascendant people, the Lagna Lord Mercury will be conjunct with Sun, which is the third Lord in the 12th house. So it means that there can be some kind of short travels at some faraway place, or there can also be some health issues coming in front of you. So you need to be very careful regarding this transit of Mercury and Sun through your 12th house. Yes, since Mercury is the Lagna Lord and Sun in the 12th house also gives spiritual qualities, so it may also happen that you may go towards spirituality at some isolation or in some solitude, or learn some new things regarding spiritual growth and living that may give you much more better results in the month of June. Otherwise, the transit of Mercury and Sun through the 12th house, I will say that you need to be much more focused towards your health, and anything related to finance and wealth has to be managed properly. If not necessary, don't go for the expenditure. If not necessary, don't waste the wealth. Okay, try to work on proper financial management and proper budget management during this particular time, because since it is the third lord Sun in the 12th house, so this can also lead to some kinds of unnecessary wanderings, because if not managed properly. So here I will say that proper time management and being punctual is very important during this particular month of June till Sun transits through the 12th house, because on 15th of June Sun will change the sign and will come into the first house. So that will make you more confident, because Sun is the third lord, the lord of courage, efforts, energy, and that is coming into your first house. So it will make you more energetic regarding any work you take, any project you take. So it will be a very good time for your self development also. Okay, so till then you need to be very careful regarding your health and your financial management. Venus and Rahu will be in conjunction, and it will be in the 11th house in the transit. Now, Venus is your fifth lord, and in the 11th house, it will be directly aspecting to your fifth house. So that means you can have gains some through some innovative way by your creativity, by your creative self-expression. Means whatever talent you have, whatever creative talent you have, you can use that in some innovative manner, and that can lead to a new path of gains in your life. Because through the third house also we can understand hobbies and creative talent, and your third lord Sun and Lagna Lord Mercury will be conjunct in the 12th house, and 12th house is also related to the other realm or the imagination. So that means through your imaginative power or some innovative techniques, you can bring a lot of gains in your life. So this can be understood by the conjunction of Sun and Mercury in the 12th house, and Venus and Rahu conjunction in the 11th house. So that means in your solitude, in your isolation, when you are thinking on, when you are working upon your creative talent and your hobbies, that can lead to more nice results with respect to your gains and income during this month of June 2022. Your 10th house will have Jupiter and Mars transiting through it. So it means you will have a combination of energy and wisdom at your workplace. So this can also allow you to learn new things because of this wisdom, and you will be slowly working through your work related matters or responsibility with proper energy. Just see one thing, that since Mars will be transiting, don't go for any kind of disputes with your or difference of opinions with your authorities or superiors. You can definitely be on time and very energetic at your work, or work through your projects in proper manner, but try to avoid any kind of disputes or arguments with anyone at your work environment, and don't overdo anything. Whatever work you are getting, just follow through it, because this Mars can make you at times a bit more competitive, because Mars is the sixth lord also. So try to avoid any kind of competitiveness and just follow through your work, and stay away from any kind of office politics, because this sixth lord Mars can create some kind of problems related to office politics. So stay away from any kind of disputes or unnecessary arguments. Okay, Saturn will be transiting in your ninth house, and this Saturn will be retrograde very soon. So on 4th of June, when it turns retrograde, it means that you need to be much more focused towards your concentration and your focus towards your higher study. For that, you need to have some more personal time, because you need to understand that which are the fields of studies, or which are the fields which you need to focus in your life for your growth, for your higher growth. And for that, this Saturn is trying to retrograde back into the sign of Capricorn. So in this particular month, it will be a time of proper choosing smartly that which are the parts in your life which needs to be recorrected and understood through higher learning and spirituality. Since it is happening in the ninth house, so it is just like that you need to follow your the instructions of your guru or your father or elders properly, because they can give you some idea that what are the things which you need to recorrect and check it according to the your plans, which can lead to proper good results in the coming days to come. So that's it for the Gemini ascendant people. For the Cancer ascendant people, Sun and Mercury will be transiting in the 11th house, and looking into the fact that Mercury is turning direct very soon. So, this transit of Sun and Mercury will be proving to be very good for the Cancer ascendant people, because this will lead to better communication at your workplace, specifically with your network circles in which any projects which you are working through, and it will also pave way for new goals, new achievements and fulfillment of wishes through your hard work and your intelligence. Third house is ruled by Mercury, which is ruled specifically we look the communication efforts and our courage. So here Mercury being the third lord, transiting through the 11th house, so that means through your good speech and communication, your hard work and your ability to form good groups and work in a project, that can give you very good results. Now Sun is the second lord transiting through the 11th house, so that means first of all it is by the transit it is creating a dhan yoga, the second lord transiting through the 11th house, so it is a wealth generating yoga. So by your work, by your intelligence, you can prove to create a new area of gains and incoming of wealth in your life by this transit. And this will also allow your superiors and authority to recognize your hard work, recognize your talent, and this can lead to give you new recognition at your workplace. Now Venus and Rahu is transiting in the 10th house. So first of all, this transit will be good in the sense that it will bring a new kind of sophistication at your place, at your workplace. Means you will be able to connect with your work environment much better than before. It will also help you to get along with your superiors in a better manner. Only one thing, stay away from any kind of manipulation during this transit, and work along with your proper responsibility and hard work. Don't forget that Venus is your 11th lord transiting through the 10th house, so it's a good thing, because through your hard work you will be able to make up enough incoming of wealth and gains. And looking into the fact that Sun and Mercury is transiting through the 11th house, so this month focuses more on your work and incoming of wealth during this transit of Sun, Mercury and Venus, Rahu. On the other hand, Jupiter and Mars will be transiting in the 9th house. I will say it's a good transit. It will be good for your learning, for your health, for your personality, wisdom, and spirituality, and religious rituals and customs. It is also a good transit in the sense that it will help you to reconnect with your guru, with your preceptor, with your elders, and follow their guidance in a proper manner. So it will be a time to learn new things and apply it in your work. Saturn, on the other hand, in your 8th house will turn retrograde on 4th of June. So since 8th house is ruled by Saturn and 7th house is also ruled by Saturn, so therefore it means that you have to make the basics in your relationship or partnerships more clear, and that will lead to more better formation of relationship and marital life, means during this particular month. So what happens that the moment Saturn retrogrades, it will ask you to take up more responsibility towards your partner or towards your legal bindings or business partnerships. So this will also lead to take up more responsibility towards your joint assets also, and towards your in-laws. Now suppose if you are not in a relationship, then this particular retrogression of Saturn can mean that you need to take more responsibility towards your personality and towards your health. So you need to perform your karma according to proper righteousness and dharma. So because Saturn will be retrograde and Saturn will be looking up to this, will be watching you. So you need to be very much careful regarding your health and personality and whatever actions you do, whatever karma you do during this particular time. So that's it for the Cancer ascendant people. For the Leo ascendant people, the Lagna Lord Sun and Sun will be transiting in the 10th house along with Mercury, and Mercury will be direct very soon. So this transit will be a very good one because it will allow you to form proper communication, proper documentation at your office work. Interaction with your working environment, specifically with your superiors, will be much more better. Misunderstandings will be reduced, and improved communication and improved relationship between you and your superiors will be established by this transit of Sun and Mercury. More specifically, Sun is the Lagna Lord and getting transiting through the 10th house and getting the directional strength in the 10th house. So it means that through your hard work, commitment, and proper time management, it can lead to proper recognition of your work by your superiors and authorities. So that can ultimately lead to good results in the upcoming times, because don't forget, on 15th of June, when Sun changes the sign and goes into your 11th house in the sign of Gemini, so that time this hard work which is done by you will give you results, and that time you will feel that yes, my hard work is getting properly recognized and I'm getting the best results out of it. It can also lead to some kind of incoming of wealth or gains in any form by this transit of Sun in the 11th house. Venus and Rahu will be transiting in your 9th house. Now Venus happens to be your 3rd and 10th lord, transiting through the 9th house. So that means for your work, for your profession or career, there can be some kind of travels associated related to your profession or career. There can be type of relocation can be there. It can also signify that you may get some job opportunity at some far away place, or it can also signify that in order to perform certain work related responsibility at your career or profession, you need to learn new things, and this is the time when you need to learn on your higher knowledge, and you may try to work on it in some innovative way, in some different way. That is what this Venus Rahu conjunction is showing in this 9th house. It can also signify, suppose if you are thinking to pursue any higher education, then that higher education you can start it now, because ultimately this Venus is your 10th lord. So whatever you learn now, that will ultimately help you out in your career and profession in the upcoming times. Jupiter and Mars transiting through the 8th house. Here Jupiter and Mars, they are your 5th and 9th lord, and they are forming a good combination, but it is forming in the 8th house. So first of all, it is time to learn something new, and which also requires complete focus, attention and concentration. So it means whatever things you work upon now, you will require complete isolation and solitude. Means you will feel that I need some me time, some spare time, so that I can work upon my studies, or I can work upon the things which I want to learn. So this is a wonderful time to learn something which is related to occult spirituality. It can be related to religious scriptures also, because Mars happens to be your 9th lord, and that 9th lord is getting conjunct with the 5th lord, which is related to intelligence, that is Jupiter. Since Mars will be transiting through your 8th house and it is the 9th lord, and Saturn is in the 7th house in transit as of now, and it will be retrograde very soon on 4th of June. So whatever work you do, your actions or efforts, or means during this particular month, it should be in accordance or in adherence to dharma and righteousness. It may happen that all of a sudden you are not going to get the recognition for your work, but it should be in proper and recognized manner with reference to righteousness and dharma. Don't forget that, because the moment Saturn turned retrograde, it will be having a close watch on your ascendant, a very close watch on your ascendant. So be careful regarding that. Okay. Now, when we talk about the 7th house where Saturn is turning retrograde on 4th of June, so it means that apart from your relationship or business partnerships, and according to means the transit, it can be like more responsibility towards your spouse or marital life can come up all of a sudden. And this is also a time where you need to take more responsibility towards your own health and personality regarding whatever work you do, or whatever decision making you do during this particular time. You need to be very careful regarding that. And since Saturn will be retrograding back towards the 6th house, so it means that some responsibility towards the clearance of dispute or difference of opinions between you and your partner may all of a sudden show up. So you need to be ready for that, and you need to put complete attention for the solving of those problems in your life. So that's it for the Leo ascendant people. For the Virgo ascendant people, as of now, Sun and Mercury will be transiting in the 9th house, and since Mercury is the Lagna Lord and it is turning direct very soon, so this transit of Sun and Mercury through the 9th house will be a good one, because it will be spiritual transit and also a transit of learning new things from your elders, from your guru and father. So this is a time where you can start new things regarding higher learning, or suppose if you are thinking that I can pursue new type of education in my life in the upcoming days, so this will be the transit which will actually spark the event in your life. So that will be a good time for those learning purposes. Some long distance travels can be seen during this particular time, and it can also happen that you may have some spiritual discourses and visit some spiritual communities and meet people related to spirituality. And you can also start up some new kind of hobby or anything related to your creative talent, because this Sun and Mercury will directly aspect your third house. So in that way also, this transit will be a better one for the Virgo ascendant people. Venus is a very important planet for the Virgo ascendant people, because it is the ninth lord and second lord itself, and it is transiting through the 8th house with Rahu. So I will say, first of all, stay away from any kind of unexpected expenditures or wasteful expenditures. If it is not required, then don't make the spendings. In fact, this is the time when you can work more upon on your financial management and budget, proper budget and economy. Okay, because this can lead to some kind of expenditures as seen by this transit. Another thing, since it is the ninth lord transiting along with Rahu in the 8th house, so it is more care should be taken that you should always follow anything which is related to dharma, because here Rahu can make you a bit provocative to do any kind of work which is not adhered to righteousness. Okay, because here Venus will be afflicted, and here all of a sudden you may feel that yes, if I can do like this, why not? So this kind of mentality can all of a sudden come in front of you, that why not. So I will say you that it is a short phase of time when Venus will be transiting in the sign of Aries. Very soon it will come up in the it will change the sign, it will come up your ninth house. So the moment it comes to your ninth house, the things will come up in front of everyone. So it is advisable that you should follow proper dharma, proper righteousness in your work, because on 18th of June Venus will change the sign. So you have to be careful regarding that. Jupiter and Mars will be transiting through your 7th house. The transit of Jupiter will be good, but the transit of Mars over your 7th house can create some kind of differences of opinion between you and your spouse. There can be some unnecessary arguments or some kind of disputes. So you need to be very careful regarding those kind of things, because Jupiter and Mars both will be in Pap Kartari, caused by Rahu and Saturn as of in the month of June is concerned. so you need to be careful regarding this kind of things. And it is also advisable that you should be taking care of your health, because Jupiter will help you out, but this transit of Mars can create some kind of anxiety, or even it can create some kind of anger within you. So be careful that what you say or what you speak, because by its eighth aspect, Mars will be aspecting your second house of speech. So be careful regarding what you say during this particular time. And Jupiter's aspect will be good for you, because Jupiter will be improving your personality, your health, and it will also improve your communication and gains. New kind of gains can open up by this virtue of this transit of Jupiter in the seventh house. If we talk about Saturn, then Saturn will be retrograding in your sixth house. So it means that it is a good time to learn new things according to your creative skill set, improve your talent, work on your talent, and then put forward those kind of knowledge in your hard work. So that means this is a time to work on certain things which can actually convert your hard work into smart work in the future days to come. So this is the month of transition for you, where you can learn new things, and that will be proving to be a very innovative way to solve down your problems, because sixth house is the house of hard work. It is also the house of struggles, competition, and service. So what will happen in the Aquarius sign, Saturn can bring up some new kind of challenges in front of you. So since it is retrograding, so it is a brilliant time to learn new things and then apply it in your life, so that the hard work can reduce and more smart work can take place in that work sector. Okay, so that's it for the Virgo ascendant people. For the Libra ascendant people, the Lagna Lord Venus will be conjunct with Rahu in the seventh house. So here, the first thing which I will say you, that first of all you should take care of your health, because the first house will be receiving the aspect of Mars, and Ketu is transiting through the first house, and Venus will be in the Rahu Ketu axis in the presence of Rahu in the seventh house. And most importantly, the moment Saturn turns retrograde, so it will be moving towards your fourth house, and from the fourth house it will aspect the first house, okay, by its 10th aspect. So it is the vital time, or I will say it is a very high time that you should take care regarding certain things. The first thing is that your personality, your health, any kind of decision making which you are taking all day by last 1 month or so, any matter regarding your time management or punctuality has to be taken care of during this particular transit of Venus, because this Venus is actually asking you to become more innovative towards your life pattern, because it is not about that Venus and Rahu is conjunct, so it will be giving you such and such bad results. No, it is also asking you to become a bit more innovative, so that it can ultimately give you good results in the future. So if you can work upon your health, if you can work upon your punctuality and time management and proper decision making, ultimately that will give you good results. Sun and Mercury will be transiting through your 8th house. Now Mercury is your ninth lord, transiting through the 8th house, and it is turning direct very soon. So it is a good thing, I will say, because the ninth lord, which is a very important planet, it is the planet of fortune and prosperity, that was turning retrograde in the, that also in the 8th house. So now when it is turning direct, it will ultimately give you good results, because this ninth lord is getting conjunct with 11th lord sun and looking into your second house. So it may happen that all of a sudden, by some sudden means, some new kind of possibility of gain of wealth may come in front of you. Now this can also mean that you need to also have proper wealth management and financial management during this particular time. For the initial few days, you may feel that my luck is not supporting me, because ninth lord is transiting 12th from itself. So hold upon that. Don't worry, because since Mercury will be direct, it will improve your communication, it will improve your speech. Only make sure that don't waste any kind of wealth out of your ego or out of your arrogance. Okay, have to take care regarding that. Jupiter and Mars will be transiting in the 6th house, and I will say that it is in one way it is a good transit, because this Jupiter and Mars will give you the wisdom and energy to prove yourself in front of your work or job life, in front of your authorities or superiors. It will allow you to give you the necessary energy to carry out your work life. Okay. On the other hand, suppose if you are in a partnership, or if you are in a relationship or in a married life, then this is the transit where you need to take special care of your spouse, special care regarding the health of the spouse or health of the relationship. Okay, regarding that you have to be very careful, because it is transiting in the 6th house along with the 6th lord Jupiter. Saturn is transiting at present in your 5th house, and it is a very good transit, I will say, but it is turning retrograde. So it means that certain matters regarding your home or certain matters regarding your creative skill set which you need to improve upon, these matters will all of a sudden come in front of you. Responsibilities towards your children and progeny will also come in front of you. So any matter regarding regarding your health of your mother, or regarding your home, your creativity, all of a sudden it may come in front of you that you have to take proper concentration and proper attention towards it. So you have to take up the responsibility, and that is the reason this Saturn is retrograding, and it is asking for proper time management regarding that, and proper action oriented approach, because this Saturn, by the virtue of retrogression towards Capricorn, it will activate the sign Aquarius and Capricorn at the same time. So it will be more powerful, and it will give the results to its fullest. So you need to take the responsibility, and you have to be much more work oriented, because this Saturn will ultimately give you good results, because Saturn is a yoga karaka planet for the Libra ascendant people. It is a very good planet for the Libra ascendant people. So ultimately it will give you good results. For the Scorpio ascendant people, the Lagna Lord Mars and the 2nd and 5th Lord Jupiter will be conjunct in the 5th house. So first of all, it is creating a Raj Yoga and a Dhan Yoga at the same time. So that means it will give you name, fame, recognition at your workplace or whatever work you do. And also, by the virtue of your work, it will also create some possibility of wealth and incoming of wealth at during this particular month. Now this can be related to speculation or speculative business, or new kind of investment ideas may come up in front of you. So overall this transit will be a very good one, and it will also be supportive with respect to your creative skill set or learning new things, or it will encourage your creative talent during this particular month. So you need to focus more on this particular transit, and it will ultimately give you good results in the upcoming days to come. Saturn is transiting at present in your 4th house, and it will turn retrograde on 4th of June, and this will actually mean that you need to emphasize something more on your homely matters and your efforts, and on which part of your life you are putting your efforts. So you have to be very calculative regarding your energy, your efforts, your courage, and in which part of your life you are actually taking your projects to. Like suppose if you are starting a new project, so you have to understand that whether that project is going to give you good results in future or not. So this Saturn is asking you to make that decision making, and it will actually help you out. So that is the reason it is retrograding back towards your 3rd house, and it will also in the future, because if you take proper decisions now, in the future it will actually give you happiness, because this Saturn happens to be your 4th lord also. So some matter related to home also may all of a sudden come in front of you. So take care regarding your own health also, and take care regarding the health of your mother also during this particular time. Some work related responsibilities come in front of you during this particular transit of Saturn through the 4th house in the retrograde motion. Venus and Rahu will be transiting in the 6th house. Venus happens to be your 12th and 7th lord, transiting in the Rahu Ketu axis in the 6th house. So I will say here that certain matters related to your relationship or married life or even business partnership may all of a sudden come in front of you. So you have to take care regarding your relationship or any kind of business partnership you are in through, or regarding the health of the spouse. Since it is in the Rahu Ketu axis, so some different kind of issues may come in front of you, where which you may not be ready to or which you are not expecting. All of a sudden it may come in front of you. So I will say make sure that you are taking proper responsibility towards your relationships, towards your partnership. And during this particular time, if you are getting a relationship partner option or any kind of relationship proposals during this particular time, be very careful while you are choosing your partner during this particular transit of Venus through the 6th house. But on 18th of June, this Venus will change the sign. It will come over your 7th house, and that time it will give you good results with respect to your married life or relationship or business partnerships or anything related to legal bindings. Since 7th house can also lead to relates to foreign, it can also may happen that after Venus comes to your 7th house, there can be a chance of some long distance travel to some faraway place or to some other long faraway place. Okay, so that can be a possibility. As of now, Sun and Mercury is transiting through your 7th house. So I will say, although Mercury is turning direct very soon on 3rd of June, so that will improve the communication between you and your partner or your business partners more specifically. But since Sun and Mercury together will be transiting through this sign of Taurus in your 7th house, I will say that this is the time where you should work in cooperation between you and your spouse. Stay away from any kind of critical judgment between you and your spouse. Means it is not the time of critically judging you and your partner. Okay, in fact, it is a time to solve down the miscommunication and help each other through mutual cooperation. That will be a much more better results giving during this particular transit of Sun and Mercury through your 7th house. So that's it for the Scorpio ascendant people. For the Sagittarius ascendant people, Jupiter and Mars will be transiting through the 4th house. Now, Jupiter happens to be your Lagna Lord and 4th Lord, and Mars happens to be your 5th and 12th Lord. So, by the conjunction of this Jupiter and Mars in the 4th house, it is creating a Dhan Yoga and a Raj Yoga together, and it is looking into your 10th house of profession. So, I will say it's a good time for you to work on your homely matters and your professional matters at the same time, because this particular transit will give you a very good recognition at your workplace, and whatever work you do during this particular time will lead to success. So that means new kind of work related projects may come in front of you where you may work through your wisdom and energy, and ultimately that will be recognized by your superiors and authorities, because the moment Mars comes to your 5th house as the 5th lord, it will improve your creative skill set and look into direct your 11th house of gains. So what work you are doing now, you will get the results in a span of 30 days, and next you will feel that yes, my work is getting recognized and I'm getting the better results out of it. Saturn at present is transiting through your 3rd house, but on 4th of June it will retrograde towards the sign of Capricorn. So that means the efforts which you are putting through in your hobbies or your projects or creative talents has to be retrospected, has to be reviewed, and some family matters, some matters related to your budget or finances or economy all of a sudden may come in front of you. So you need to take care regarding those things also. Any matter which relates to spending or expenditure has to be rechecked now or revalued during this particular time. Whatever you say or how you communicate or how you talk with someone, your speech has to be checked, because Saturn will be retrograde. Saturn is your 3rd and 2nd lord, so you need to be very careful regarding that. As of now, Venus and Rahu is transiting through your 5th house. So this Venus and Rahu is giving you some innovative way of expressing yourself creatively. Now it can be something different. It can be like Venus is associated with art and craft, but it can be like something different, something not traditional. It can be something related to some different culture. So you may like to express yourself creatively in some different manner, and that can ultimately help you to come in front of the world in a different manner, so that people can know you in some innovative way, like some your talent will be recognized in some different way. Okay, in that way this particular transit will be a good one. Now, since Venus and Rahu is transiting through the 5th house, so during this particular transit, it may happen that you may get some kind of proposals, romantic proposals from some person of other culture or some other community or some other place. Okay, so that kind of things can happen, or you may get interested towards foreign cultures also. Sun and Mercury will be transiting in your 6th house. I will say it's a good transit because Mercury will be direct very soon, and by the conjunction of Sun and Mercury in the 6th house will actually help you to get the energy, power, intelligence, logic, and analytics to do your work or do your work done at proper um, time and space. Okay, it will also help you to get recognized to your superiors and authorities. And I will say only one thing, that since Sun is transiting through the 6th house, so it will also help you to complete the work which your superiors has given to you. But suppose if you are the superior and someone is working under you, so you have to also be very compassionate towards that person, because don't forget 6th house is the house of service. So if someone is working under you, so you need to also take care regarding that person also, so that will ultimately give you a very good results between you and your co-workers at the work front for the longer days to come. Okay, so that's it for the Sagittarius ascendant people. For the Capricorn ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting as of now in your 2nd house, and it will turn retrograde on 4th of June. So certain matters related to your family, your wealth management, or anything related to your budget or expenditures may all of a sudden come in front of you. Your values has to be rechecked, because 2nd house is the house of values. So your value, your tradition, all of a sudden some things may come in front of you where you need to recheck regarding the things which you really think, or you value, okay, a lot. Your personality, your health, all of a sudden may become a very important to you, and you need to work on that, because Saturn will be retrograding back towards your 1st house, towards the sign of Capricorn. So it may happen that some responsibilities may come in front of you where you need to take up that responsibilities. So I will say this is the time you need to be a bit take the job, take the work bit by bit, slow by slow. That will give you much more better results in the coming days to come. As of now, Jupiter and Mars will be transiting through your 3rd house. I will say it's a good transit because Mars is energy, and Mars also deals with bravery and courage, because it is a very Mars is the planet of aggression, correct? And 3rd house is the house of bravery, efforts, valor, and Jupiter is wisdom. Jupiter is the 3rd lord. So that means this is the time where you can actually prove your worth. You can actually work through your projects. You can actually work through whatever work is given to you. You can prove your efforts, and that will ultimately give you good results in the upcoming days to come. Because don't forget, this Mars will aspect your 10th house of profession by its 8th aspect. So you will love to have some kind of challenging projects at your profession. So that will give you, or adventurous means you will feel that now let me try this kind of work schedule, and that will if I succeed, that will give me good results. So you will take up the challenge, and it will ultimately help you out. So here Jupiter will give you the necessary wisdom, and you can work through your wisdom, and that will give you good results. Venus and Rahu will be transiting through the 4th house. Venus happens to be the Yoga Karaka planet for the Capricorn ascendant people, that is the 5th and the 10th lord, transiting through the 4th house. Although it will be in the Rahu Ketu axis, but still I will say that it may happen that you may learn new things in some different way, in some innovative way, or you may have the tendency to complete your work in some different manner, or I will say it will be just like converting the work into smart work. Okay, so in that way you will be able to get your work done in a lesser amount of time, and ultimately get the success in your work front. But here one more thing, since Venus is the 10th lord transiting along with Rahu in the house of happiness in the fourth house. So it can also lead to the fact that here you may feel that okay, I will do the work later on, let me enjoy the comforts and luxuries. So don't fall into the illusion of Rahu in that way. Okay, because what will happen, the transit will pass on and later on you may feel that my work is still left behind. Okay, so take the energies of the planet in such a way that you can make the most out of it. In fact, this is the time where you can actually convert your talent into smart work and get the best results in a lesser amount of time. Because don't forget, Venus is a very good planet for you and it is looking into your 10th house and it is the 10th lord itself. So if you are able to complete your work in right time, that will actually help you recognize your talent in front of your authorities and superiors. Correct. Sun and Mercury will be transiting in your fifth house, and here Mercury will be direct very soon. And Mercury happens to be your ninth lord transiting through the fifth house. So, your higher intelligence will allow you to learn new skill sets that will actually help you complete your work creatively and ultimately have gains through it. Because Sun and Mercury will directly look into your 11th house of fulfillment of wishes and hopes, okay, and gains. So you can work through your creativity and learn new things, and that can actually help you in the future days to come, because that will actually open the gates of new kind of gains and wealth in your life. But since Sun and Mercury both are transiting through the sign of Taurus in your fifth house, which is also the house of our mentality, our intelligence and ego, so this can also lead to some rise to your ego. So have control over your ego, and it is the time to learn new things. And because if you are if you get flowed by the ego, then what will happen, the possibility of learning new things will be stopped. But you need to learn new things, improve yourself, and ultimately get the best result out of it. Okay, so in that way you can be getting much more better results. So take care regarding that. So that's it for the Capricorn ascendant people. For the Aquarius ascendant people, the Lagna Lord Saturn is transiting over your Lagna itself, and it is turning retrograde on 4th of June. So certain responsibilities towards your own self, towards your own health, your personality, your own karma will be coming in front of you. Some responsibilities towards your relationship, towards your partner will all of a sudden may come in front of you. And since it is retrograding back towards your 12th house, so yes, health will be a big concern, because it signifies that certain matters regarding your own health has been neglected in future. So that is the reason now Saturn is saying you have to take care regarding those things. Okay, this is also a very spiritual transit, I will say. You can do some charities, you can take up some spiritual way of living, that will also give you very good results. And you can definitely work on your time management and your punctuality, that will give very good results at your work front. Don't forget, Saturn will be looking into your 10th house, so that will give you a very good results in that way. Jupiter and Mars will be transiting through your second house as of now, and Jupiter is the second lord. So by the placement of Jupiter, it is a very good transit, because it will give you good results materialistically and spiritually also. Because by the virtue of position in the second house, it will increase the wealth, or it will protect your wealth. But it is looking into your 8th house also, so it will also give some inclinations to learn spiritual ideas or knowledge. Mars happens to be your third lord and 10th lord, transiting through the second house with the second lord. So that means you will work or your efforts will be towards the accumulation of wealth. It will also help you to add wealth to it. But yes, since Mars is a very impulsive planet, so out of impulsion, don't make any kind of expenditures which is actually not required. So this is a good time, so you can put your wisdom and energy to make proper financial management, proper work on your economy. Okay, and since it is the 10th lord of profession and career transiting through the house of Jupiter along with Jupiter, so it may happen that at your workplace you may find someone who can actually guide you, who can actually help you to expand your work, expand your projects in a some better manner, and that can actually lead to good results in your upcoming days to come. Venus and Rahu will be transiting in your third house, and I will say it will give you an innovative way to express yourself, your hobbies, your efforts, your creative talents in some innovative manner, in some different way, in a good manner, I will say. Some out of box thinking will be there. But since it is also the house of communication, you need to be also careful regarding how you communicate with other people. It is a transit where it can actually help you to become a bit more flamboyant, a bit more expressive in front of the world. But this transit can also seems that Venus is getting afflicted under the Rahu Ketu axis. So how you communicate with your near and dear ones or your immediate contacts, okay, has to be checked, because you say something and later on you may feel that, yeah, yes, I shouldn't have said this thing. Okay, so you need to be very careful regarding that. Yes, if you want to express yourself in a better manner, in some out of box or innovative manner, then this particular transit of Venus and Rahu will actually help you out to express yourself in front of the whole world, specifically in front of the social communications and networking is concerned. Sun and Mercury transiting through the fourth house, I will say that Mercury is the fifth lord. Transiting through the fourth house is a good, and it is turning direct very soon. So this transit will be a good for learning purpose, and Sun happens to be your seventh lord transiting through the fourth house. So that means your spouse will help you out, or your partner will help you out to make sure that you have proper peace of mind, or you have proper um happiness at your place or at your, so it will actually, your spouse will help you have to the proper security at your home or your house. Okay, so in that way it will be good result, giving you good results. And this Sun and Mercury will directly look into your 10th house of profession and career. So actually it will give you the proper recognition by your work, means your intelligence, your logic, your analytical skill, your creative skill set, because Mercury happens to be your fifth lord. And seventh house is actually 10th from the 10th house, and seventh lord is Sun. So that means by your work, by your intelligence, some projects will be solved in a better manner, and that will help you to get recognition at your workplace. So that will give you a good result. So it can also change the course of your profession in a better manner in the upcoming days. So make the most out of it, this particular transit for the Capricorn, for the Aquarius ascendant people. For the Pisces ascendant people, Jupiter and Mars will be transiting through the first house, and I will say it is a very good conjunction, because Mars is the ninth lord and Jupiter is the first lord. It is creating a Raj Yoga and Dhan Yoga at the same time. So it is actually giving you name, fame, recognition, and at the same time also creating a chance to increase the wealth in your life, because it will help you add more wealth or incoming of wealth in front of you. Okay, means it will bring some new path in that way. This Mars and Jupiter will also give you proper energy and proper focus and confidence to be more for self development and independent focus in front of you in your life. But since Mars will be looking into your seventh house, so in this particular process, don't forget that you need to also give proper importance and opinion to your partner also, because here Mars is just a planet, because Mars does not believe in negotiations, correct? So you need to be very careful regarding that particular thing. In that case, Jupiter will help you out. So work through your wisdom and channelize your energy in that way. Okay. Saturn will be transiting in your 12th house, and it will be retrograding back on 4th of June, and it will start retrograding towards the sign of Capricorn. So it may happen that all of a sudden new kind of spiritual way of living may come in front of you, or you may feel that, suppose if you are working for any kind of foreign country or MNC, or in some faraway land or some multinational company or something like that, or you have, suppose if you have any foreign clients, okay, so by the retrogression of Saturn towards the 11th house, you may all of a sudden have gains through those people, okay, or it may also happen that it will actually open the gates of new kind of gains in your life by this virtue of this retrogression of Saturn towards the 11th house. Okay, Venus and Rahu will be transiting in your second house, and I will say that Venus is your 8th lord and 3rd lord transiting through the second house. So first of all, you need to be very careful regarding your health with this particular transit, I will say, and also regarding your financial management and economy. Don't make any kind of spendings which is actually not required, because here Venus will actually make you feel that yes, I can have it, I can have that material of luxury and comforts, but when you have it, later on you will feel that I don't need actually, but okay, let it happen. So this kind of illusionary thinkings may come, or thoughts may come in front of you. So if it is really required, then you can do the spendings. Otherwise, you can actually work on your financial management, because Rahu will actually provoke you, make you feel that yes, you can buy it, you can take it. Venus is the 3rd lord of communications, transiting through the second house of speech along with Rahu. So makes your be completely sure what you are saying or what you are going to say, because once the words are spoken, it cannot be taken back. So make sure what you are speaking, and that will actually give you very good results. So that means if you are working anything related to social networking or marketing management, so this kind of transit will actually be very good in terms of your work or job. Okay, Sun and Mercury will be transiting through your 3rd house as of now, and it's a very good transit, I will say, because Mercury will be direct very soon, and here intelligence, energy, focus, concentration, everything will help you out in whatever projects you take, your hobbies, your creative talent, or anything, any new projects if you get and you are thinking that should I work upon it, yes, this is the time when you can start new projects, and it will actually start in a good manner. It will help you out to work in a better manner, focus through your work, and actually get this success in the upcoming days to come, because Sun and Mercury transiting through the 3rd house normally gives very good results, and eventually Mercury will join come to your 4th house, and that time it will give much more better results, because this Mercury in the month of July will come to your 4th house, and it is the 4th lord. So whatever work you do now and efforts you do now, ultimately you will feel that yes, my work is completed, my project is completing, and now I am focusing more on my happiness, my home, my security, my mental peace. Okay, so in that way, this particular transit will give you much more better results. And on 15th of June, Sun will change the sign. Sun will come to your 4th house and directly look into your 10th house. So through your work, you can get recognition at your workplace. Yes, Sun is a very hot and bright planet. So when it comes to the sign of Gemini in your 4th house, you need to be also very focused towards maintaining the family happiness also, because it can lead to some kind of anxiety also. Okay, so that's it for the Pisces ascendant people. So that's it for all the 12 ascendant signs, and hope you have liked this video. If you have really liked this video, press the like button and share to your near and dear ones. Your comments are always welcome to me. It's a big source of inspiration for me to make all this content for every one of you, and your opinions and your queries are always welcome. So write down below in the comment box, and if you want a consultation from me, check the links in the description section. You can mail me directly through my email ID. So that's it for now, and next time when I bring another interesting video for all of you, I'm signing off for today. Thanking you. Bye bye.